full, considering all his options. Listen, I played poker with Elton Sang a long time ago in Macau. He's been playing poker for lots of money for a very long time. I'm talking like 15 years ago.
Reminisce on the glory days, Rast?
I mean, I'd be reminiscing about quite a long stretch of time, but yes.
I mean, when you were playing 5,000, 10,000 in Macau, did you ever think you'd be here now with me in the booth all these years later?
That specific thought never came up, but, you know, I've liked doing commentary for a long time, so sort of yes.
And look at this, Brewer raising the ace-10 off. He's had really bad timing here. JNT picks up the jacks.
And Brewer's short enough that JNT probably doesn't mind getting all in versus him. He does have to worry about Hrabets, who is behind him, so he can't just go all in.
Frustrating start for Brewer as we see the chip leaders just gaining more. I mean, this is crazy. 83 big blinds for Roberts, 60 for JNT, and the rest of the table, 10 big blinds, 10 big blinds, 15 big blinds, so really separating from the shorter stacks.
Yeah, the halves have been smashing. It's as if this table is an analogy for the economics of modern society thus far.
Interesting. The 1% widening the gap.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sweating with us in chat. Another incredible sweat here at Triton, the biggest one we've had so far.
Magic's one short, yeah.
Yeah, 125.
125.
And look at this. I mean,
what a spot. I mean, again, he's going to be shoving here quite a lot, but he's going to be min-raising with polar range, obviously driven by the fact that his very best hands want to induce from the short stacks, and this is one of those very best hands. And will it trick Patrick into making a play here? No, Patrick dodges that one, but what about Brewer? King-jack off. He's not folding. Will he come with call? Will he play back with an all-in?
Brewer's already bled a lot of chips out here. Is just going to call, though.
All
oh, no, he shoves.
Call.
And Robek's going to snap, and there goes the orange. And now Chris Brewer in bad shape. And Roman is looking to take another soul out. You see the orange slide in the middle. Nobody has faded it so far. Can Brewer?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the only one is Ibinger, who's got even more orange going on. Going to be hard to make a straight.
Wow. Queen.
Well, that's what I started with.
But he does pick up another out with the 10. Has the gut shot straight draw.
Needs to fade to board pair. That would shut it down.
Not the card he wanted to see. 10, 10 only, or Brewer is going to be our 8th place finisher.
Good game, guys.
GG. GG, Chris.
Good game, Chris.
Orange comes back right in its spot.
You just keep chilling, you know? I will.
Antonius
You
still
like
eating.
my orange?
Yes, I do like your orange.
And with that, Chris Brewer hits the rail in 8th place. 543,000 for his troubles. Another great run. He'll be disappointed, but the bank account gets padded. And so does Roman Hrabic's stack. Nobody can beat the orange here in Jeju.
This one is always.
Roman
Maybe
Hrabets, the leading proponent of OTO,
And I move
Orange
like this
Theory
and
Optimal,
good.
showing the power of the orange. And we're down to 7
you.
players.
Anytime.
Antonius, I think, has eaten like a
now
whole animal
better.
since this final table started.
Big guy. I find the space over
See
here.
if we can get some info on that, but crazy. Still eating that animal. Picks up tens on the button.
Yeah, and versus one of the chip leaders, this is such a super comfy shove. They're opening wide. A little bit more uncomfortable versus Mustafov. But let's see. I mean, he only has 10 bigs.
All in.
Yeah, he feels like you just got to go with tens.
There it goes. And Mustafov has to call, and we're going to have another race. Patrick looking to fade. And these two have battled before, Brian.
Ace queen.
Yeah, whoever wins this pot will be in third place.
Interesting flop. Great flop for Patrick. Has the spades working. Faradine is going to need to catch, but it can't be a spade.
Spade shuts this down.
Mustafov looking to hit the river. Patrick's going to get a very nice double. Patrick Antonius, healthy once again. 43 years young. And Faradine going to be our short stack now.
Yeah, this catapults Patrick over 5 million.
Mr. Mustafov down to 7 big blinds. These two played heads up back in 2022, Faradine and Patrick in Cyprus in the 25K. Faradine tried an insane bluff, and Patrick called with bottom pair, just the deuce. Ended up winning that tournament.
Oh, yeah, that hand got passed around in video clips. It was a sick call. Okay. Patrick with an even better pair. And now we're up against one of the chip leaders who's more likely to be wide. I think we just got to stick in our 20 bigs here and hope for the best.
Patrick can't even finish his meal.
I wonder, though, if he goes for... Oh, wow, he's flatting. Okay, he's going for... I know once you get up to 30 bigs, Jax really wants to flat for ICM reasons, but very curious here at 20 bigs, Patrick is coming with that. Very happy with Jax when the big blinds get out. We're heads up in position. Would have been an interesting spot versus JNT to go for an exploit 3-bet and maybe hope JNT 4-bet jams something goofy. But as played, here we are on the flop, single raise pot. Ooh. This card is interesting because JNT now picks up a gutter. Does he want to bluff with that? He says no.
JNT may want to take a stab now. Looks like he's considering it. No, just gives it up. Does Patrick want to bet now?
I like betting here. At this point, I'd feel even safe betting and calling a check raise, to be frank.
He's just going to take it down. More chips for Patrick.
But that pot does show you the effects of ICM. Patrick playing the hand very snug, just happy to win a small one. Feel like I would have liked to see a river value bet, but beyond that, everything else seemed quite reasonable.
There you see Roman's girlfriend, Monica, also with the orange, getting the sweat on the rail. Suited connector for Elton. And Antonius keeps getting hands. This one a lot weaker than the last two.
Is he thinking 3-bet here?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. And given that Patrick just flatted jacks and now has even more chips, his 3-bet range, as we know, super polar. But Roberts doesn't really have a good hand to fight back with and just lets it go.
Patrick, who came into this table as the short stack, now up to third in chips. Very healthy with 30 big blinds. Elton looking for another huge title here.
Robert's going to open it up again. Solid holding. And I don't expect to defend out of the big blind here. Not with all the ICM pressure on it. Really makes it hard to realize, especially against the massive chip leader. Big blind defend ranges get surprisingly tight in these spots.
And Roman has so many chips, he is forced to put the orange on top of the stack now.
We'll see if that changes anything in the next all-in. Roman just leaning on the table.
Fold.
Roberts started the series off cashing the first 5 events.
Guess it's good. Huh? Yeah.
Now the favorite to take down this 4.3 million first prize in the main event, but still very early here at the final table. Patrick's still eating, Brian.
It just never ends. Faradine down to 4 bigs. He's got to make something happen. Will it be this hand?
He really needs to pick up a hand. And he does.
This is going in.
1 million. 1 million.
Good luck.
Nobody else at the table cheering for him, though.
No, and Elton has ace-9. Might this be good enough?
Yeah. I think with 4 bigs, Faradine is probably shipping just about any ace-X, any pair. A lot of the suited Broadways. Elton with a snug fold. And what a shift here. Because if he plays, Roman probably folds, ends up folding the king-jack suited if Elton shoves. And
Potential butterfly effect here.
yeah, Faradine is a small dog, and now he's a big favorite to double instead of being a small dog.
Good
We
call,
see the
man.
orange go into the middle, though. Can Roberts do it again? Great flop. Roberts does have some backdoors working. And that's one of them.
The orange is in there,
Picks up a straight flush draw on the turn.
but the orange came from his stack, not from the rail.
Hits the jack, but it's not enough. Huge double for Faradine.
75.
How much? 170.
Never easy, bro.
Huh?
Never easy.
Never.
Ace-9 would have lost as well.
Expecting
So-
a 10 in hearts on the river.
This was not a huge butterfly effect moment. King-Queen would have won either way.
Roman still very healthy. Over 91 bigs. Igor now our short stack. Elton with 9 bigs. Faradine doubles to 10. Heibinger and then Antonius separating from these short stacks. He started the final table with 8 bigs, so
Yeah, very interesting strategically here. Patrick gonna try to win a few chips here and there, probably mostly stay out of Roman's way. Maybe try to play a few single raise pots with JNT. Slide up the rankings. Just wait for these. There's 3 sub 10 big blind stacks. Wait for a couple of them to go out. We earn hundreds of thousands of dollars each time. JNT coming limp.
wow, limps the king 9 of diamonds. Never know what this guy's going to do.
Can't see Elton playing this one, but he does like to kind of do the same thing each time.
And Roman has the queen 10 of diamonds.
I feel like out of position here.
Okay.
My guess is he's just happy to limp, keep the pot smaller, not inflate it. You know, let's not give JNT the opportunity to limp re-raise us with whatever he has.
А? Сега на този поп и дама беше ли? А? Да.
Great flop for JNT. Top pair. And Roman has middle pair.
Feels like call is the only play for Roman's hand. Check raise makes 0 sense to me. His hand being squarely not good enough to do it for value and doesn't make sense as a bluff. Doesn't make sense for his range. So we're going to the turn. Top pair versus middle pair.
Total brick, 7 of clubs. And this could get expensive for Roman.
This is his, wow, this is his spot where maybe he could get away, but definitely not versus this sizing. JNT comes with the exact same size he bet the flop.
He's just milking that orange. Doesn't want the whole thing, just happy to have a little more juice. here on the turn.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see how Roman does anything other than call again. We're getting an even better price. Can't be too happy about it, but what else are we going to do? 2.2 in the middle.
And the river's another brick, the deuce.
And JNT on this run out might be able to get 3 streets here. Let's see if he goes for the third value bet, or he just checks it back.
Roman may want to set the price himself, though.
Nah, I think you want to. I don't think you want to bet here. Yeah.
Just checks.
Queen.
Yeah, see? Maybe our man doesn't bet better, and he might bluff if we have him beat. So,
Yeah, Roman loses the minimum there. Still a nice spot for JNT, up to 15 million.
really had no idea whether or not JNT was going to bet the third time on the river, but he kind of snap checked it, so. So far, it seems like a couple times he's bet a little bit bigger in spots that have been dicier. Like went half pot with the jacks, getting limitless to fold the queens on a king high board, but now with top pair, betting a little bit smaller.
King queen off for Matthias.
Yeah, this feels good enough to play. I mean, he's been a good boy so far, knitting it up, just trying to slide up, but we got king queen here. He's kind of going with the jam size, just leaving 1.2 there in case some crazy stuff happens behind him.
Nice pickup for Highbringer. Igor now 6 bigs, getting very short.
Yeah, I think he's about to take the big blind this hand. Oh no, he just took it. So he's really got to try to make something happen this orbit. The next time he takes the big blind, his fold equity is gone.
Yeah, the next time might be the last. Suited ace for JNT. He's just going to pass.
It's a pretty snug pass.
Yeah, but he does have Roberts lurking with a mountain.
Yeah, sure, but which is why you can't get out of control there. But he has a lot of chips.
But he's also eating some. He's eating some dim sum. I wonder if
Yeah.
that plays in here. Trying to finish that meal. And another spot for Highbringer.
Now he's well over 10 bigs. Jam is a bit reckless.
Yeah, this feels like a min raise.
It's starting to dip into fold territory. He's just taking so long here.
Yeah,
pull the
and
trigger.
I wouldn't blame him with Igor being so short. Also, Elton sub 10 bigs. Yeah, there it goes. When you take that long, right, it just becomes so much harder to pull the trigger.
You're like, oh my God, I've taken my 30 full seconds, and everybody knows I don't have it. We're going to throw it in the muck.
Rabbit's going to keep leaning on these guys. And Patrick now looks like he's finally finished his meal.
Does he want to do it again? Come with the 3-bet.
He's got a great seat here directly on Roberts' left.
This time he flats.
He's going to keep him honest. And look at this.
This is an interesting one.
Open ender for Roberts. Top 2 for Patrick.
Patrick never has kings or queens. I think he's always 3-betting those here. I mean, queens is kind of close, but cutoff button for less than 30 bigs against somebody who's probably 4-betting light sum. I probably would shift it into 3-bet. So, But Robert has a really wide range.
Там телевизор.
He's just opening super wide there in the cutoff.
Does Patrick want to put in a raise now, or is he content to just trap?
I mean, a raise doesn't make like a ton of sense for his range, again, because he can't really have, like, he can have eights
Does just
and
trap.
king, queen, and that's it.
And there's a deuce of diamonds giving Roberts even more outs. Now has
Oh.
a flush draw.
Oh, that was kind of a money card in my estimation for our viewing pleasure, because Frabet's now with a diamond in his hand is probably going to barrel off on this one, and I don't think Patrick is going to fold top two.
Yeah, we're going to see some
So-
more chips go in the middle here.
My guess is it goes bet call, and on a blank, probably large bet close to all in. Patrick tank for a long time call. That's my guess here.
Here comes 1.5 million from Roman.
Yeah, there's no going anywhere here on the turn with top two.
Antonius double checks.
Antonius is even ahead of some value hands. Like, what about aces with a diamond? Roberts can have some, like, two pairs. Like, he's playing king 8, queen 8 suited for sure. He might even be playing them offsuit. So, you know, ace king with a diamond, maybe even without a diamond, it's close. But so Antonius is ahead of some value.
He's just going to trap again.
Oh,
Boats up. What a river. Antonius makes the nuts, and Roman rivers a flush.
And this really changed it. So we're not going to see what happens if Roberts bluffs. But Roberts makes a flush. But on a paired board, Antonius shouldn't have too many boats, but definitely can have boats as played, can have flushes.
But how many flushes does he have here?
I mean, yeah, maybe, you know, ace X of diamonds, a few combos of that. King queen makes a boat either way. I don't know if he flats king jack off. Yeah, I don't know that there's a ton of value in betting as Roman. This check makes a lot of sense. And it's going to be pretty gross for him to see a bet here.
Yeah, does Antonius want to go for it all? Or is he going to try to milk the orange?
If he goes for it all, he's basically saying he has king, queen, or eights. That's possibly nut flush. That would kind of be his range here, I feel like, if he goes 4 million or something. If he goes smaller... Yeah, but going smaller doesn't make a ton of sense for ICM reasons against the chip leader here, in my opinion. Feel like he's probably going to decide on the large. Okay, Antonius disagrees, and he's getting milky.
Real milky. And Roberts hates it.
The weird thing about a smaller bet is Antonius is still probably never betting worse for a small bet, right? Which is kind of why a large bet makes more sense. You're getting better... Your value range doesn't change that much going from a large bet to a small bet here if you're Patrick, realistically speaking. And you get more for your bluffs. So this is an interesting bet, but I think I like a large bet more.
And situation, monster pot for Patrick up to 10 million in chips. Patrick Antonius, 40 big blinds, becoming a force at this final table. Came in as the short stack. Now extreme.
Yeah, I think that's a spot where theoretically and even just exploitively, it just kind of large size or check back is what makes sense as Patrick. That's just such a weird bet. But nice fold by Roman, huh?
Yeah, just kind of diagnosed the situation perfectly. Knew he was beat, pitched it, and ace-10 off again for Heibinger. He's taking a long time again, Brian. Pitches it. He's just in a coffin right now. I mean, 8 big blinds for Faradine, 5 big blinds for Mustafov, 9 for Eldon, and ace-queen for Roman.
Yeah, you have to, in my opinion, it's really strong by Roman because if you're Patrick and you're making a small bet there, which kind of theoretically doesn't make a ton of sense, you're doing it exploitively to get a hand like the 10 of diamonds to call, a lot more frequently. So then Roman just folding the 10 of diamonds is kind of just shoving that exploit in the bin and being like, yeah, you know, good luck.
Big
I
stacks.
gotcha.
About to clash here. Sixes for
Hey.
JNT. And he's going to 3-bet Brian. Chooses violence.
This is
Says, take your ICM and shove it.
Yeah,
Let's
just-
play a big one.
JNT here coming after the chip leader with sixes. This is not in the GTO Silicon Overlord playbook. And I think we just call here with ace queen off in the hijack. I mean, it's a lot of hand. Yeah. Wow. We have no idea what JNT's doing, but we're not messing around. We have a real hand.
Here we go.
We're in position if you're Roman. Let's see what happens. Ooh.
King 3 deuce rainbow.
And we've seen JNT in these spots size up decently. Let's see what he picks. He might go like 1.5 or something. That'll be a tough bet to call with ace queen. Yeah, it comes third pot. Oh, a little under. Very uncomfortable bet here if you have ace queen. We are ahead of some hands he could have. Anything unpaired. He probably didn't hit the deuce or three. Could easily have a king, could easily have a pocket pair. If we're ahead, does JNT slow down on the turn? Maybe not, right? So let's just let it go now. And yeah, JNT just kind of gangstering his way around right now.
Yeah, this dude is a savage, Brian. I mean, good luck figuring out what to do against him at any point in time. He creeps right up, only a million chips behind Roman now. The Popo playing for the win. He wants that main event title. You love to see it. Seven left here in this record-breaking main event. Next player out will get 739,000, but after that, $1 million for everyone guaranteed.
Red. Right. Le gilet.
Roman just continuing to apply the pressure. Wow. Tough spot for Igor here. Let's see what he does. I mean, he doesn't really have fold equity, but it's against somebody whose range is very wide. Faradine and Elton both don't even have double his chip stack. This is, and he decides to fold because of the no fold equity there on the jam. You can see the power of ICM in play on that one.
Pass.
Yeah, and even though
He made his
Roman gets the
500
pay
calls.
jump if one of these short stacks is eliminated, he's
No
kind
problem.
of incentivized to keep them around, isn't he?
Yeah, yes and no. I think he just doesn't mind that much, kind of whatever. Everyone else really wants them to bust, and for him it's just not a big deal. I mean, there's still a lot of ICM pressure if one more player busts. So if he's winning the chips, he definitely wants to bust them.
Robin's still extremely healthy. 18.4 million. Elton now has to eat the big.
He also probably doesn't really mind much if JNT busts one of them, right? What he isn't as happy about is if two of the short stacks get all in and one busts and it launches the other one up into being more
Right.
like Patrick especially. Like he'd rather Patrick
Igor
not.
with the same hand, and you see him shoot a sly grin there. Wasn't suited there, can't do anything, but getting annoyed. Igor knows when that big blind comes around, it's going to be it.
Yeah. And it's coming.
An ace for Elton.
And Elton just paid the big blind. He can keep waiting.
He's not going to wait,
Oh,
though.
sorry. He's the big blind.
Yeah, he's
sorry,
going to see a flop.
I thought he was the small blind for a second. Call here makes a lot of sense.
Does hit a deuce, but it's bottom pair.
Yeah, Robert's range is really wide. He probably c-bets this board with his junk all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if after checking and a Robert's c-bet at a just over 1 SPR, if Elton just goes with this. Because when you have a deuce here, listen, Jack 3, which is folding, beats you a quarter of the time. So it's like worth a lot for you to just take the pot down right now. It's a really dicey spot, though, because you don't get it in good very often when you're called. But, I mean, again, you're risking 1.6 to win 1.6.
Yeah, and Roberts can just have anything.
Anything.
Could have 10-6 suited.
Yeah, which beats you, but could have 10-5 suited, which doesn't. And which can barrel a lot of turns, like 10. Okay, so he's coming with call, which is reasonable. Fold was the only thing he definitely wasn't doing, so.
10 on the turn. Brings a backdoor flush draw.
So Frabetz has no real equity, which in one sense can give him quite a bit of freedom to barrel here, because if he just bets like 500, it's no skin off his back if Elton jams. You can put a lot of pressure on sixes and deuces. We can see Elton is maybe even thinking of leading because he kind of has to fold if he checks and if Roman bets again.
What does Elton want to do here? Does check.
And let's see if Roberts just goes for the zero equity barrel. It's kind of an interesting spot to do it, in my opinion, on the 10. Put a lot of pressure on 6 and deuce X, which don't have a gutter or flush draw to go with them.
Цанк еще грамотно подержался за фишки, причем и на флопе, и на терне он так за них.
Does just knuckle
Да.
back, though. And gets there on the river.
And this river should probably go check, check.
What a dirty river for Elton Sang.
Yeah.
Just the offsuit 3.
Yeah, looks like an amazing card if you're Elton. Yeah. This time I think check is definitely coming. The turn I was curious if Elton was going to lead. And if your Roberts here, I don't think you can really value bet.
Elton's look says it all. Elton Sang now tied for short stack with Igor. After that deuce, and the orange cannot be stopped here. Roman Roberts continues to run away. 20 million chips now. King Jack of diamonds for Patrick.
Yeah, definitely going to raise it up. Roberts is big blind. Or coming with min.
And look at this. Pocket rockets for Heibinger.
He only has, looks like, 13 bigs. So, I mean, call is just so goofy. His range really might play almost all jam or fold here with 2 5 big blind stacks. Let's see what he decides. Do we really want to let this be a multi-way pot? Roman's in the big blind. If he does play flats in his range, though, this would be a very natural hand to include in that. So he's saying I don't flat here.
Does just jam it in. Roberts hasn't folded yet. There it goes. And always frustrating for Patrick when we have such a pretty hand. The power of the orange on full display in this main event.
I use the time. Please.
Blinds going up again. Very expensive, especially for these short stacks. Igor is under the gun here.
$850.
And it's time, Brian.
We don't know what he has yet. There it is. Just an offsuit ace.
Can't wait forever.
Wow, it looks like 2 aces folded.
And Elton has ace queen of hearts.
Yeah, this is way too much hand. It's going in.
Nice. Me or you, Owen?
Pa je добре.
Go.
Disaster for Igor.
Това е чудесно.
I'll give it this
Ста-
time, but
Ще
it's
се
too
стакнат
easy.
двамата късаци.
Too easy like this.
Чакай да видим. Аз имах шой
I think my
4.
superpower?
Make you look like this.
Halfway, halfway, that's fair.
Elton saying a big favorite to double. And he's got the orange. If it wasn't enough to have the best hand.
Not mine.
Oh, Roman let him borrow the orange.
Everybody wants to know.
Everyone.
Well,
Pretty great flop for him. Igor does have a gutter, though.
Yeah, the jack or a heart will just close it down. Shut down the club.
whoa.
Igor needs a non-heart 7 or 6 or he's going to be crippled. And Elton saying,
You have chips left.
Hey.
Good luck,
You
guys.
cover. You cover, I think.
Good luck.
I think you have 50,000 left.
You might have more than me.
What?
I think you have 50,000.
You might have more than me.
Yeah.
You might. I don't know. I don't.
we're going to do the math here, but regardless, Elton Sang wins
I
a
have
huge
1.2,
pot.
Oh, you have 75K left.
Oh,
Oh!
ah, no. Not finished.
Сенсей 5.
For a second, I thought Igor was just going to take those chips and leave. Realizes he's still in the tournament. We'll be all in next hand. Massive double for Elton. Still alive for that 4.3 million.
Now Ante is the first. Yeah.
No.
Huh?
He's got to double up a couple times just to get to nub status.
No?
Not a good place to be in for Igor
3.3?
Yarashevsky.
No, 3.5.
All in.
And queens for Faradine. Happy to shove it in.
Unfortunately for him, not that much in this pot.
But tens for Ibinger.
I think it's 1.9, I believe. Yes.
I mean, normally there's 750 in the pot, but there's only 225 because 600 of the money the big blind puts in is only 75,000.
Yeah, and this is a 300K pay jump, so Faradine very incentivized to just wait for Igor to bust, which means
Yeah.
he's really strong here,
Yeah.
which means Matthias, no, can't get away. 10's just too good. He's going to rip as well.
Сигурни сме.
And we're going to have a three-way all
Дами
in.
на
And
десетки.
great spot for Faradine to double up and knock out Igor.
А? Да не трябва да идва десетка. Другия има
Five.
9 и 5.
2 fives.
Да.
Igor can only win the 300K here. A lot of money in that other pot, though. Interesting flop.
Вече трябва
Not
да
many
идва
ways for
десетка.
9-5 off to win this.
Не трябва да
Matthias
идва
does
дам.
have diamonds. Great turn for Faradine. Just needs to fade another queen now. Igor's out of here regardless.
Fold.
There it is. Massive double up for Mustafov.
Now it's for
Подвойни. И един
Like-
отпадна и то остава къс.
good luck.
Кой е, мен?
And Igor going to hit the rail in 7th place.
Yeah, well played. Sportsman like exit there, shaking everybody's hand.
Very
In the
good
money.
player. Igor Yaroshevsky just couldn't get the cards here.
Love that walk in. A lot of pizzazz.
Bows out. $739,000 going into his bank account. And the rest of these players will be guaranteed $1 million. 6 left with 4.3 up top. It's really anybody's game. Obviously, Roman out in the lead. Matthias now the short stack, but plenty of play left. And Heibinger's going to have to eat the blind soon.
He is the shortest stack, but not that much shorter than Elton, who has 3.1. My guess is he waits on this one. Don't think this is quite enough here, going through 5 players, but he disagrees.
Yeah, there it goes. Jack 8 in the middle. He'll be hoping for folds.
How much? 1.9.
This is not what you want to hear.
600
Oh.
behind.
Huge double up. .eu, your exclusive hub to predict your favorite player's action outcome in Triton events. Receive a 15% bonus up to $250 on your first top-up. Join now and start engaging in the sporting world today. Get a sweat. If I had any money, I'd put it on JNT. But a lot of horses in the race. I mean, Patrick, Faradine, Elton, Matthias, all very capable players. Roman, still our chip leader. No, actually, sorry. JNT with that pot moves ahead.
It's neck and neck, though.
Elton and Faradine basically tied for our short stacks.
All right. Yeah, I'm feeling it.
What a massive double up for Matthias. And this is actually really interesting. In Monte Carlo 2023, he won the main event for $3.5 million. So I'm not sure if we have two Triton main event winners. If someone's done that, producer James, if you could check on that, might be the first time for that potentially here.
JNT with a walk with the Doyle Brunson. 10 deuce. The blinds are up.
He's Jack Jack.
Hadn't noticed 300,000 big blind we've been playing for a little while. Price of poker's getting expensive.
Yeah, I told you that it doesn't work versus him.
Oh, did you win the last mini?
Then I pulled the orange.
Oh.
Knew it from day one.
Tim Adams, our only two-time main event winner, but Matthias has the chance to go back-to-back, and Jack 10 of diamonds for Patrick here. Down, very healthy, almost 10 million. Great final table for him, came in with 8 big blinds. Legend of the game, doesn't look like he's lost a step at all.
That's gonna be done.
Elton now under the gun. Oh no, sorry, he's in the big now with a lot of his chips out there. Roberts is going to take the king deuce upstairs. Looking to really lean on these guys. Interesting spot for Mustafov.
You don't love having the deuce. Although we could see he was dominating Roberts, but Roberts don't think he can call that all in there.
Heibinger with the same hand that just doubled up through Roberts.
Lets it go. Now we're on Elton.
So invest with Timo.
Pretty solid holding here. Seems like it's good enough to invest your 300,000. Try to win 1.35 in the middle. See 3 cards.
He's going to take a flop with the suited Robbie.
Nobody flops anything here, which is great for Hrabets because this flop favors him a decent amount, even though he's opening wide. Elton can't really have aces, queens, ace, queen. And Hrabets isn't opening 100% of hands or anything, so Elton has really nothing to continue with.
Yeah, just very grim for Mr. Sang. Roman back to work. He's been a wrecking ball. Even when he loses pots, he just gets it right back. Roman Hrabets, his 6th cash of the series.
Back up in the chip lead now, 17.5 million. JNT's been a little quiet.
He's been quiet.
I feel like we're going to hear from him soon.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's like the kind of guy who knows when he hasn't been playing very much and is like, now it's time to do something. You know, these guys are going to think I have it.